Peace. I'm Melody.
All right, y'all.
500.
Like, subscribe, hit the notification button.
No,
Okay.
was it cool or no?
Yeah,
Shall we record?
if you want. Real love. Real love. Real estate.
Hey y'all, it's Leslie Ann from Real Love, Real Talk, Real Estate. And I know Thomas talked to you last time about is she the one, right? I'm gonna more so take it from the is he the one perspective, but not so much is he the one, more so like what are those watch outs? So we know that there are some people who have a vision board up and the person that they envision is the one that they end up being with, right? They find that person, like, oh my gosh, this is the exact person that I had on my vision board. This is the exact person I prayed for to God, right? And then you have the other side where you may have thought this was the person that you wanted, right? Write all these wants down and then got somebody and they're not quite what you thought, but you realize that they're bringing what you need. And you're like, that's amazing. Like, I love that, right? So there's so many ways to meet your one. And so I'm not even gonna talk about that. What I'm really gonna talk about are the watch outs. So there's three that I wanna talk about. The first one is losing yourself, right? You really wanna watch out for that. So one of the things is if you feel like I used to be this kind of person, I used to have this kind of energy, and then you realize that that person is bringing a negative flow to your energy, right? They have you no longer talking to your family, right? Just different things that just kind of don't sit well with you. You realize that you're losing a part of yourself. That could be the time that you're like, you know what? This is not the person for me. And so one of those things I'll say with Thomas and I, right? He does not drink alcohol, right? And when I met him, I didn't either like that, right? But casually, right? So he's very strict on the alcohol thing, right? Though strict. He's like, we are not drinking alcohol. And I'm okay with that. That's not a part of losing myself. So giving that up is more like a compromise, not really losing myself, right? But if there were to be something else where I felt like, you know, I had a dream and he wouldn't let me fulfill my dream or something like that, that would be losing myself. So that's one watch out. Just think about that. If you're acting different around family, whatever that might be. The second thing is ignoring those red flags, right? So we all know we've seen them, right? You have one red flag that pops up and you're like, I don't know about that. But you start to say like, well, maybe it's not too bad, right? And then the second red flag comes and you're like, okay, maybe that's not even a red flag, right? Maybe it's yellow. You start calling different colors for the flags. You know, we've all been there. But the reality is we really need not ignore those red flags, right? So one of the things is you can have a conversation about it if you feel comfortable. If you really don't feel comfortable talking about the red flag, like it makes you uncomfortable, you really got to take some time to question that, right? Like, is this a relationship that I could really see myself in terms of even going to marriage, right? So we all, again, have those times, not all, but many people experience those red flags that we just say, and turn a blind eye to, and then turns out, nah, was not a good thing. So think about that. That's another watch out, right? And then the third thing is those non-negotiables that you come up with, right? And then you start to flex on them. So it's one thing when you have a job and you say, hey, these are my non-negotiables, right? Like for instance, I only want to work remote. And then you get a job and they're like, so you have to be in the office 5 days a week. And you're like, oh my gosh, right? But you're like, listen, I need the money. And it wasn't non-negotiable, but at this time, that's the only job I can get right now. I need the money, I'm gonna take it. That's one thing. With a man, you don't need a man, right? That's debatable, I guess some people would say. But I say you don't need a man. So for those non-negotiables, right? Why say I'm gonna flex on them? Now, some of them could be surface, superficial, right? He gotta be 6'1", but he ends up being 5'10". Is that really one you can flex on? I think so, but maybe you don't say that, right? But there may be other things that are truly non-negotiables, like absolutely not. That does not work for me. Like from a religion perspective, right? We're both on two wavelengths. That's not gonna work. And that may be a true non-negotiable for you. Don't flex where you're not supposed to flex, right? For you. And then flex where you can, right? Where it makes sense. So those three watch outs again are don't lose yourself, watch out for those red flags, and watch the flex zone in the non-negotiables, okay? I too myself love a good lose yourself moment with Eminem, right? When I'm working out, especially with running, right? Love to lose myself in that song, in the music, but you don't want to lose yourself when it comes to your relationship. So important. All right, y'all. So I'm out of here. Again, Leslie Ann, Real Love, Real Talk, Real Estate.